Yo, 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 welcome in. Take notes, grab a pen. Welcome back to another episode of the Honorable Marvin Coop Show with the host, Chef Marv. No lie, I'm that guy, and I got my brother back with me, Mr. Cedric P. What's going
Yo,
on?
yo, 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 man, blessed up, man. You know, got a finals that from the onset wasn't really exciting to the masses, you know what I mean? But hey, sometimes superstars go, sometimes superstars are created, you know what I mean? So right now we just seeing some young guys
Yeah,
just doing their thing, man. It's crazy, man, coming to the end of an era. It
yeah.
feels weird, man. Like,
But
oh,
a new era starting too.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, the new era is in now, man, and there's so many people uh that's volleying for that position. You know what I mean? And it's so weird, man,
Yeah,
because we had Bron for so long,
right.
and there was no argument, about who was the best player in the league.
Fact.
It was no. I mean, we're talking about 15 plus years of no question who's the best in the league.
Yeah,
And we even take that for granted. And so now it's just so crazy because there's not that type of dominance anymore.
no, it's not.
You know what I mean? And of course, Brian found himself on some teams that were, above average. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Especially with the Heat, man. But
yeah.
he's had his fair share of carrying people on his back as well. So
Facts.
which and talking about carrying people on their back is a great segue into we what it's a great segue into what we about to talk about.
Feel you, bro. I feel you, man. Yeah, we don't appreciate it till it's gone. Just
Yeah, for
unfortunately,
sure.
like I tell people, man, Brian will be missed, man.
Yeah,
But ain't no
yeah,
telling what's gonna happen with him either. So wish him nothing but the best. I think he'll probably play one more season. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he'll probably come back for one more.
yeah, yeah.
Just to see what is going
See what
on.
they can make shake. Yeah, if they can. I
Yeah.
don't know what they can make shake, but you know, see, Brian ain't never really been the type of dude that you got to make a lot shake. Like,
Yeah.
if you could just make one or two things shake,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's set up to where they can still go after Mark Williams. Maybe they go that route.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I would guess Levine would probably still be open to moving. I don't think Levine is about to accomplish much in Sacramento. Um,
Yeah.
or anybody on Sacramento should be willing to go anywhere, honestly.
I
So,
don't I don't know,
so
man. I would be giving up on stuff like that. Like get some young players.
it's yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I always think the Kings are going to be so good every year on paper. It just seems like they're supposed to be.
They are. But something
Like,
always happens. The bug always get them, or they not
yeah,
connecting chemistry. Like they chemistry is always off.
yeah. I mean, when
Uh,
you trade your franchise quote unquote player
hmm.
at the trade deadline, it's one of the things that can happen.
Yeah,
Um, so
that's
yeah,
true.
they talking about the Spurs is one of them boys ended up on the Spurs. They said they don't know if it's KD or Giannis. They
That's
said, but one of them boys ended up on the Spurs, and one of them ended up on Dallas. And
mm,
that's a crazy sight either way.
that is crazy.
Yeah, I like
That's
KD
wild.
on Dallas though. I like KD on Dallas. I think that works more. I don't know if 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 he's having that mindset of I've already tried the Kyrie demo or
Yeah,
not. Is he saying, you know what I'm saying? Because I think Giannis on the Mavericks is huge. But I kind of just want to know like what is AD's. Well, you always wonder. I don't know how that works unless they just gonna have Giannis be a straight dominant center.
that's
You know what
true.
I mean? As opposed to you can still have KD come in, have AD come in, and just still kind of be positionless. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
who knows, man? We'll see. We'll see. I think this offseason gonna be crazy.
yeah. It's gonna be an interesting offseason. So I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. So the finals is 1-1, like you
The
said.
finals.
I'm I'm,
Yeah.
I'm I'm glad you predicted that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
All right.
down to them stealing game one.
I did not see game one happening, man. So
Yeah.
can we honestly say that damn, the Pacers are the comeback kings of the NBA playoffs?
Yeah. I mean, they're the comeback team of they'll be set in stone. You know,
Yeah.
they'll be set in stone for um, what they're able to accomplish, but it's still hinging on them finishing the job. You know, and that's a tall task. It is a tall task because at this point now, just watching these two games, and I've been watching OKC. When OKC plays defense, and
Mm-hmm.
when they commit to defense,
Right.
you want Lou Dort to have 5 fouls every game, just like he had last game. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like when they commit to defense, I mean, so many things went right for them. You got Hardenstein looking like he's the facilitator. You know, I think he got 6 assists on lobs to Chet. And I'm like, man, yeah, they clicking on every cylinder right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, 1-1. You know, Pacers did what they do game one. Unbelievable comeback. Um, won me a lot of money. You
There
know?
you go.
Yeah, won me a lot of money. I say that, but it was that was incredible, man. These guys' resilience is incredible. I do not think that if it was up to them, they would have sat out those last 3 minutes down 16 because I mean, equivalency wise, they've already come back from something the equivalent of that. I mean, you were down what 8 points against the Cavs with a minute and 10 left or something like that. So
Yes.
I mean, I don't I think that was a coaching move
Mm-hmm.
last night that said, man, they got the better of y'all today. Um,
Yeah.
neither I am impressed with the Pacers defense.
Me too.
I'm
Yeah.
impressed with the Pacers defense because while they're not having great games, they're really OKC isn't really having any dominant offensive performances.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're literally just. I mean, I got to give them credit. Uh, yeah, man. So 1-1. You know, was kind of the prediction. We both said each team would steal one.
Yeah.
Pacers stole one. You know, it would have just been unreal for
Mm.
OKC to lose two at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
That would have definitely been unreal. So
yeah,
I think right now what they saying is that I think the Pacers just wanted to show y'all that, hey, this is the finals. It's not no one-sided no more. Anybody can win now. So we showing y'all what we can do, what we made of. And like you said, I'm definitely impressed with the Pacers defense, man. I'm like, damn.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's going to, and it's like you said, I mean, it's going to define a lot of things, especially for Halliburton. I feel like SGA really has some more to prove. He gonna definitely want to win. He just like I got MVP, the conference MVP. Now I want to win a chip. Like this is gonna submit his status from what we talked about on last show, superstar, all star, whatever. He's just gonna show you that I'm him if he wins it all.
Yeah.
So it's a lot on the line. So I feel like right now it's a toss up for anyone. It should be a good finals now. After seeing game one, that was an incredible game one. Them last
Mhm,
few minutes was like, I'm like, damn. Because I'm sitting here thinking like it's over with. Then when I get home,
mhm.
watch it, I'm like, these boys and choke. Pacers is like, and then people keep forgetting like last year, if they hadn't got hurt, they probably would
Yeah,
have been in the finals.
yeah.
So yeah, they always a step closer each year and each year. Like, so this is definitely a team that's progressing. So I'm definitely like,
Yeah.
shout out to the Pacers. So
Yeah.
and I
I
can't even
think
hate
they're
on them.
I think they're a team that takes um, every loss personal.
Yeah.
I know Halliburton is definitely upset about his inability to get started
Hmm.
much earlier. Came into the fourth quarter with 5 points, I believe, ended with 17. You know, had a great fourth quarter, but about by that time, you
Yeah.
know, the game was over.
Yeah.
At that time,
That's true.
they had done too much. I know they're gonna take the loss personal. I know they're gonna get some great rest.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. the odds and the spread show that
Mhm.
it's different.
That's
They were
true.
plus four. They was plus 410 last four. No, it was plus 460. It was plus 460 last game. They're like plus 165 for this next game coming up. So the odds obviously understand that a well rested Pacers team that makes its adjustments, it's going to be a different animal. People will have to step up. Shea had 38 in a loss the first game and 34 in a win. So
Hmm.
um, it's obvious that he's going to need help. You know what I mean? Like
That's
there
true.
has to be people helping him, and then the way you help him is ironic because Shea's almost one of those people where he's so dominant that you help him by just not making mistakes. You help him by not turning over the ball.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You help him by not taking bad shots because so many of his bad shots are better than your good shots. You know what I mean?
That's
So
true.
and then and then he's just a savant. I mean, a part of me does want to take away from his actual skill level because of how often he gets to the foul line.
Hmm.
But I guess I have to categorize that as a skill.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? Like so,
That's
if I categorize getting to the foul line as a skill, I guess I just got to give him kudos for that.
facts. Facts. So, what's your prediction for Game Three? Like, what you feel
Uh,
needs to happen, and
um,
what will it take for the Thunder to probably win, and what will it take for the Pacers to win Game
so
Three?
game three, Pacers at home.
Hmm.
Uh, Halliburton has to get started early. He has to get started early. There's no reason you should be going into the third quarter with 5 points. I mean, going into the fourth quarter with 5 points. There's
Yeah.
no reason for that. So he has to get started earlier. Um, I think Miles Turner just has to play with confidence, man.
Yeah.
He has kind of been in kind of a slump this whole playoffs for real. He hasn't really shown up in some of the major ways he did last year. Last year in the playoffs, um, he had a one game and like came out like a 15-point quarter last year. But yeah, man, he Miles Turner needs a little bit more confidence. I love the way Naismith is playing. He's shooting the ball with a ton of confidence. I think that's only going to grow. I think they're going to allow him to shoot 7 or 8, maybe more threes a game.
Hmm.
T.J. McConnell is he just come off the bench and just do his thing. You know what I mean? Like he just come off the bench. He's so consistent, so solid. Comes off the bench, does his thing. Comes in and gets 8 and 4, 8.4 assists like clockwork. Uh, if Obi Toppin can hit his tray ball, uh, I think that they're going to come back renewed. For OKC, on the other hand, um, I mean, they just have to. OKC has to play. I think when OKC plays OKC basketball,
Hmm.
um, that is just a tough team, man. It's just a tough team to beat. Um, you got 2 7-footers. You got. Um, I mean, it's crazy. Like we never seen Hartenstein like this. He wasn't even showcased like this on the Knicks. Coming behind Towns and uh, Hartenstein just wasn't. No, he wasn't even coming. Towns wasn't there yet, but he was behind somebody. It was somebody he was
Mitchell.
sharing minutes
Mitchell.
with. Yeah,
Mitchell.
Mitchell. Yeah, he was sharing minutes with Mitchell.
Yeah.
So him at starting center and what he brings is so. I think he's kind of one of the most underrated guys on that team and what he brings to the table. Obviously, Chet played a little bit better this game.
Yeah.
When he plays well, that's huge. I seen some of his eyes the other day, man. Like
Yeah.
I was like, those dudes took that loss personal, as they should have.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
No wrong
I
with
mean, I couldn't
that.
imagine being an OKC fan in the building that day. That would have been crazy to me. Like, that would have been unbelievable. You know
Right.
what I mean? So they took that loss personal as they should have, and I think they have to take every game personal. They have to look at it because the one thing that separates the Pacers from every other team so far that I've seen is that every game is a game they take personal.
Exactly. I
It's a
agree.
game they take personal. You can't go 4-1 against the Cavs unless you take every game personal. You know what I
Correct.
mean? You can't go 4-1 against the Bucks unless you take every game personal. The Knicks stole a victory. I mean, literally stole a victory. That just wasn't even. They stole one, so they really should have been 4-1, but they stole it. They stole it. No disrespect, they
It's all
stole
good.
it
Yeah,
so
hey,
bad.
you're right. You're
Yeah, they
right.
stole the victory. You know what I mean? And so for that reason, that was a 4-2 series. So it's just different. It's just different. We
Yeah.
see an OKC team that went 7 against the Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? That got blew out. That got blew out against the Timberwolves. By 40.
Yeah.
Even though they finished that series in a great fashion. Well, I see a little bit more holes. There are more holes in OKC to where I see they can try to ride the wave of the last victory too
Mm.
much. And they have to have a short memory because whatever you thought you saw last game from the Pacers, they're going to make it. You can't get this far. Uh,
Right.
they have a 12-4 playoff record, or 13-5 now. You know what I mean? If they're 13-5 in the playoffs right now, these guys have a short memory. Um, so
Right.
yeah, game three, I for sure see Pacers taking the dub. I for
Really.
sure see Pacers getting the dub. Um, I see a big Halliburton game coming. I see a big Halliburton game. I see him trying to get off the ground early. Um, I'm gonna go 25 and 9 from Hallie.
25
Yep.
and 9. It's not bad.
25 and 9 from Hallie. Yep.
It's gonna be difficult, man. I feel like
Yeah.
right now it's gonna be a difficult because none of these games are predictable.
Ah,
You can't be sitting up here and be like, "Oh man, I think they're gonna do this and I think they're gonna do that." It's like because none of us expected game one, and damn
ah,
sure didn't expect game two like this. So I feel like right now it's unpredictable, and that's what I
yeah.
like. I don't like for finals to be predictable like it was the past few years, where
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
such and such team is gonna do this, such and such team is gonna do that. That's why I was like, it may sound boring, but now it's like, okay, got a little excitement here. This is anybody's fight now.
Yeah. Yep.
But I feel like right now, Indiana defense need to do good against SGA's co-stars.
Yeah.
Y'all defense got to step up, do good against y'all should know that can't really stop the 30 point. Can't
Yeah.
stop the
Yeah.
30
That's
piece.
automatic.
That's automatic all the time, win or lose. But it just depends on how you can play defense against his teammates.
That's true. Caruso can't have 20 points with 4 threes.
No.
That can't happen.
That's cannot happen, man. So that's
Uh,
definitely one battleground that you need to focus on. I feel like both teams, especially the Pacers, got to work on that half court defense as well.
yeah.
Got to be able to like learn how to shut something down, like trapping, learn how to trap, do this and that. Because we all know, once again, SGA is him. So it's like got to learn how to set some traps, got to learn how to do this, got to learn how to play defense. Just be like, be ready, stay ready.
Yeah.
And definitely, most definitely, it's important. I feel like it's important for Indiana. Turnover control. You got to worry about your turnovers too, because the turnover look is not.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that
Oh my
turnovers,
goodness.
boy. It's
I didn't even. I mean, I've never heard of that. I have to look back in the record book. I've never heard of that. Game one was crazy. 25 turnovers and y'all won.
Mm,
25 turn. They had 19. What did they have? 18 or 19 turnovers at halftime.
yes,
I was like, bro, how does it take? I don't even know how you win. How the math adds up to a team
exactly.
winning a game.
Which
They had 25 turnovers in. That's not even. We're not even talking about how many offensive rebounds you gave up. That's a different
exactly.
conversation. We're not even talking about they had like 3 shot clock violations. So those aren't even player turnovers. Those are
Hmm.
different turnovers. So you really had almost 30 turnovers and won the game. So it's just like obviously that's not just mathematically wise. You can't keep doing that and winning. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Don't make your identity coming from behind so much you're stuck in that. Like it has to be a game where I don't see a high level of I think the domination looks like with these two particular teams and how they're set up. I think domination looks like yesterday. I think that's as
Hmm.
much domination as you'll get. Right? That's the largest margin of loss. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna fact check it later. I believe that's the largest loss margin 16 that they've had all playoffs. I don't think that they've lost
Right.
by more than. I mean, they only have 4 losses, 5 including that one. They only have 4 losses before that
And shout out to
in the playoffs.
Carlisle. Shout out to Carlisle, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
19 in the first and then damn near six. And I can honestly say that four of them wasn't really their fault, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Like it was just, I'm like, okay, that was bull. But it's all good though. Like I said, for a big difference, definitely shout out to Carlisle, man. You just gotta
yeah,
keep it up. You gotta keep it up. And another thing for Carlisle, you cannot get out coach.
yeah.
You cannot get out coach and do not shoot yourself in the foot.
Mhm.
So here's a question that somebody asked me. Somebody saw the show and said, if Halliburton was to win, what would his status be as a player? Will he be that superstar we were talking about, or is he just still considered as an all-star, or is he just considered a what did we call it? The team guy? No, not the
But franchise player.
franchise player.
Mhm. Um, I think he's a franchise player now. I think he's a franchise player right now. His status now this is where it gets tricky, right? Because even as a Halliburton fan myself,
Hmm.
um, I understand this. I understand that. I first gotta. We first have to be honest and admit that Halliburton wasn't even the one that won ECF Finals MVP.
Right.
So he wasn't even the one that won that. So the most valuable player on their roster all the way up into the finals MVP was Siakam,
True.
right?
True.
So I think men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So who's producing? And game winners are huge.
Hmm.
There are people on his team that won't have that many game winners in a career. For sure.
Exactly.
If they have any, you know what I'm saying? 85, 90% of players never hit a game winner in their career. You know what I'm saying? Game winners are huge. It shows that you're clutch. But game winners are, while they are super important because they're game winners, there's a lot that goes into the game. I know. I think that was a huge conversation with the shot from Kyrie,
Yeah.
right? And people looking like, man, Kyrie deserved this and deserve. I mean, yeah, Kyrie did it, but there's a lot to get there to even
Hmm.
get there. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, Kyrie is a different argument because everything Bron did, he did every game. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
I'm just
true.
using that argument for reference.
Right.
You know what I mean? To where it's like you're producing, but at the same time, it's like who's really the most valuable in this team? When we
Hmm.
look at OKC, we know who the Finals MVP is because
Exactly.
he's the MVP of the entire league already. You know what
Right.
I mean? So we understand that there's a level of SGA carrying this team that doesn't really apply to Halliburton. This team is on SGA's back by default. By default, you got a free 30 plus a game. Like, not average. That's what he's scoring every game. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's a difference. Well, it's different from averaging 35 a game to scoring at 35 a game. He does the latter. He scores this much every game. So you got to think
So
of
having 30 points and 5 turnovers, that's MVP status.
I'm gonna put it like this. When we look at SGA, we know for a fact that his team doesn't even get anywhere near this far. This is arguable a person we don't even know if your team makes the playoffs without you. You see what I'm saying? With the Pacers, I deem them a playoff team. They're a playoff team without Halliburton. They're a playoff team without Halliburton. They make the playoffs without Halliburton. They make the playoffs without Halliburton. We see what Nimhard did. We see what Nimhard did when Halliburton was out against the Celtics last year. I believe they are. This is a Halliburton fan telling you I got a Halliburton jersey on right now, like telling you this. I just think that I'll put it like this: if the Pacers were to win right now, if we base it on the fact that Siakam was Eastern Conference Finals MVP, I
Hmm.
don't even know if he'd be the most valuable player in the finals on the team. It was Siakam that had 40 points twice in the Eastern Conference Finals.
True.
You know what I mean? So he is getting the spotlight from hitting the game winners. And
Right.
game winners are a big deal. Buzzer beaters are a big deal. You know what I mean? Especially at the rate that he's doing them at. It's unbelievable. It's magical.
Right.
You know what I mean? But production is production. Producing is producing.
Right.
And how much are producing? You came into the fourth quarter yesterday with 5 points. This is tough love on him. You came into the fourth quarter with 5 points. Come on, bro. We'd be crucifying SGA if he did something like that. If he came into the fourth
That's
quarter,
true.
if he came into the fourth quarter with single digits, period, we would be like, bro, what's going on? He's sick. He got the flu. What's going on? You know what I mean? So, if they were to win, I would be more certain that it had to do with much more of a team effort than the fact that SGA. You know what I'm saying? The Pacers could win every game. The Pacers could win this finals, right? And it could be possible that in every game they win, not one person made it to 30 points. I don't think anyone had 30 points in game one.
Right.
If I go check the stats, I don't think anybody had 30 points in game one. So we understand that this team is winning as a team. The Pacers are winning as a team. And we see the buzzer beaters and the game winners highlighted because that's what's going around and that's what's being, with the Halliburton. That's all the rave. That's all the madness. But the truth of the matter is this: Shea is putting up 30 plus every game, so much so that it is looked at as his duty.
Mm-hmm.
This is his duty. Nobody is putting the duty on Halliburton to score 30 a game because it's unreal. It's not reasonable. You know what I mean? This is on SGA. This is the MVP of the league. This is the person that is going to produce this every game. Think about KD in the finals. We knew what he was doing every game. We knew what he was doing every game.
True.
You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. I believe that if the Pacers win, it's not going to be something to where I'm pointing the finger at Halliburton. This is the reason we did it because because he wasn't even the most valuable for the Eastern Conference Finals. So, hitting a game winner every series and producing every game is two different things.
That's true.
And Halliburton isn't producing every game. That's just the truth about it. He's not producing
Yeah,
every
he
game.
he was on my NBA fantasy team. Trust me,
Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm just saying, like, how many games did he miss this year?
How many games did he miss? He didn't miss a lot of games, did he?
I think he missed.
Like 15, maybe 10.
I think he missed 10.
Yeah, missed around 10 games, somewhere between 10 and 12.
They struggled those games, though.
Um,
They 4-6 without him, though, bro.
so watch this. We do know Halliburton was the league leader in assists last year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the leading assist leader, like obviously you have to struggle there. You have to struggle because it's not even the factor of him. You're not missing 30 points because he's going to score 30 points. You're missing 30 points because he's going to facilitate 14 assists. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's a different type of missing than if you miss Shea. Who creates a bucket first? No one creates Shea's bucket. Shea creates his own bucket every time. He doesn't need to be set up. Dude, I would go the distance and say that 95% of everything he scores is off the dribble.
True.
Like honestly, like no one's getting assists to Shea. Like he's creating his own shot every time. He's just a special scorer, man. You know what I'm saying? The last time I seen a scorer like him that I can compare to him as far as being that special is MVP James Harden.
True. But when you're getting half of those, like a quarter of them, like 10 plus points from the free throw line, still, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not
like I said, if I have to write that off as a skill, I'm not gonna hate on him. But if that's a skill, that's a skill. But
yeah, I'm not gonna hate on him either. Like I said,
I don't know how he looks in. I guess there's an argument of how he looks in other eras, right? We do have that argument. Seeing as much as he going to the foul line, you know what I mean? I don't know if that 30 turns into 17 and a half if you talk about the 90s.
That's a whole different argument right there, man. That's a whole different argument, bro. But I just feel like I don't know, man. I feel like they will struggle without Halliburton just a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, yeah. I think that they'll struggle without Halliburton, but I think it's because Halliburton is bringing something else. You know what I mean? Like when you think about Halliburton, you're not thinking about if they were to lose Halliburton, you wouldn't be thinking about them losing Halliburton points.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not the first thing you would think. If they lose Shea, you're thinking like they just lost a 30 ball every game.
true.
If they lose Halliburton, it's almost like the
Yeah,
energy. There's almost an expectation for him to produce in clutch times now. The
right.
same way there's an expectation for Shea to get 40 a game. You know what I mean? Like
That's
same
crazy.
same expectation there. So the expectation from Shea and Halliburton aren't the same. They're not expected to do the same thing, but they are in a different way. You know what I mean? So I guess that's how I put it.
So you feel like the Pacers have the recipe to win? Do they have a full recipe to win this?
Um, I think that the consensus and I'd be a fool and I'd be lying to say that um, OKC is not better on paper. I will give the OKC bench the edge for sure.
True.
I have to give them the edge, and I give them the edge because of how they play their bench.
Yeah.
Casey Wallace played 33 minutes game one, and he's coming off the bench. There's no
Yeah.
bench player on the Pacers playing 33 minutes. Like if you see like anybody on the bench get like 19 minutes or more, they played a lot. That's like the most you'll see TJ McConnell get. You'll see like 17 will be the max, 17 or maybe 20 will be the max you'll see for Obi Toppin. You know, Caruso could play 34 minutes depending on how things go. It's just their bench is deeper from the perspective of if they see somebody clicking, that person is staying in.
You're
As
right.
opposed to the Pacers, they, their substitutions and the way they run their lineups are kind of more set in stone.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not. I don't think they're kind of going, and I think that that's where the coaching edge is as well.
Mhm.
That if somebody is turning up, oh, we gonna keep them in. Caruso started doing what he started doing. It was like
Yeah.
he in. You know, it was sometimes I was like, where Lou Dort at? Even though he was in foul trouble, got 5 fouls. Like, where
Hmm.
he at, man? They ain't even rocking with dude. All I see is keep seeing this case and Wallace and Caruso. So I just think they have the versatility. I think they have the versatility coming off their bench that have players that when they're doing good. See, the thing about the Pacers is TJ McConnell will go 10 points in 4 minutes, but
Yeah.
he's still getting subbed out when it's time to get subbed out.
This might be a hot take here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Thunder's scared. For the SGA to come out here and say, Pacers teach you that this is a 48-minute game, like the nervousness when he said that,
Yeah,
that means they're gonna have to change their game style each and every game. Because you
for
notice
sure.
this wasn't their gameplay in game two.
No.
So for them to switch it up like this, they're gonna have to like, damn, we gotta switch it up. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do that. I feel like there's some nervousness there now. I feel
Yeah.
like they're a little shooken up. Like, cause
Yeah.
they was not expecting game one to end like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like this dude just came in here and punched us in the mouth in our home court. We number one. We won
Yeah.
68 games. So I think
Yeah.
Thunder a little shook. Not gonna lie to
Yeah.
you.
Pacers missed about 6, 7 free throws this last game. Obviously, the Pacers is a team that needs the three ball to work.
Yeah.
It didn't really work. Outside of Naismith, it didn't really work.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, that was a gimme. But OKC, I think they like I said, I think they answered the right way. You know, you got a tired team, a fatigued team. That took a lot out of them to come back like that
They did.
because they couldn't stop fighting. It took a lot out of them. You know, they're ready to get rest at home, get well rested, and go perform at home.
Yeah.
I think that this series is as even can be. It's a series you can whoever squad you on, whoever side you on, you can really root for them in a very genuine way. Because it's not like I know we ain't good enough, but I hope we win. No, it's like one of those things where it's like, hey, if you don't play for 48 minutes, um, anything can happen. Anything
Hmm.
can happen. You have to play this Pacers team the entire game. And when a team does that to you, that stays in your mind. Just like you said, I don't know if they scared or not. I don't know whether to categorize them as that, but I do know this: they're not going to forget that. They're not going to
Right.
forget being up 16 points at home.
Right.
No other team could forget it. No
Mm-hmm.
other team could stomach it.
No.
Even though every team got to win,
Right.
every team got to win. But it was something about that game where they came back, down 20 against the Knicks, down 15 against the Bucks, down 20 against the Cavs,
Yeah.
and now down 16 against y'all. There was something in the back of those teams' head that just didn't sit right. It just didn't sit right with them. Like, man, this team is like, because you can never be comfortable having a lead like that.
Exactly. 48
It
minutes
wasn't
of
until the Pacers took they starters out yesterday that OKC was like, with 3 minutes left, like, okay, and then that wears you down too, because ain't no getting no rest with no team like that.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I fully I will there will not be a single game where Shea doesn't play 40 minutes. Not a single game. There will be no game where he plays under 40 minutes, guaranteed.
Yeah, I just feel like 38 still lost, but everybody
Yeah.
on the Pacers from game one, whoever touched the floor scored from Bryant, Shepard, Malbert,
Yep.
McConnell, Toppin. Everybody scored, everybody put in work. You're going to need that recipe to continue to win on if you want to win this finals.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
real. And what
Yep.
was impressive was that they stayed focused. Even though they
Yeah.
shot crazy, they stayed hungry on defense. That's what you
Yeah.
need to do.
Yep. Yep. For
So
sure, man. So
it's
yeah.
gonna, it's gonna be a toss up. It's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen with them.
Yeah. I think these two in Indiana will be um I think game two goes to the Pacers. I mean game three goes to the Pacers, and I think game four is probably about to be one of the best games we've ever seen. like for
You
real.
feel so you feel like game four could be like that
Game four
fight,
is going to
fight.
be crazy regardless of who's winning, because whoever goes down 2-1, we about to see a real fight on our hands. I don't think that's going to. Game four will not be a high scoring game at all. If you guys want to pick from me, take the game four under no matter who wins, because that game is going to be all about defense. All about defense.
I don't know, bro.
Who
I feel like this
you
one
like for
go.
game three?
I'm gonna pick the Pacers, man.
All right, all right.
I'm gonna pick the Pacers. But something scary is gonna say that the game you just described could be game three.
Mm,
Because they're gonna be
yeah,
like, we're gonna have to
that's
still
believable.
we're gonna have
That's
to make a
believable.
statement like right
Yeah,
here, right now. You know what I
that
mean?
makes more sense. That makes more sense.
So
That does
game
make. That's a good take.
game three,
Yeah,
game three could be that defensive fight that we was talking about.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
take the under on that game three.
On game three, yeah, no, that makes
Yeah.
more sense. And I
Yeah.
retract my statement, and I'm gonna go with Marv's statement on that, man. Game three,
Could be
definitely that
wrong.
makes a lot of sense. No,
I
that
could
makes a
be
lot of
wrong,
sense
but
though,
it's
because I
just
mean, nobody wants to go to the OKC doesn't want to go down 2-1, and the
no,
next game is in Indiana. Like,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So, and Indiana doesn't want to go down 2-1, period, just because of who they are.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? They want to win their first home game. So, yeah, that's a fresh take. I like that. Yeah, I
Because
agree with
you
that.
because you never really played in a hostile environment like Indiana.
Nah,
Because
uh,
I don't think the Clippers fan, well, who did they play? Denver's fan base wasn't like that.
no,
Minnesota fan base ain't really like that. Memphis
no.
definitely fan base is not like that. So this is really your test right here for real.
yeah,
And it's the
yeah,
finals.
yeah.
This is like the nitty gritty right here. So
The
this
fan
is
base will be hard to overcome.
exactly.
Like,
It's going to be real difficult to really stay focused in that type of environment.
yeah.
So maybe they can overcome it in game four, but game three is going to be a big test for the Thunder, in my opinion.
I'm gonna
So
go score. I'm gonna go. Let me go 109. I'm gonna go 109, 102 Pacers.
109, 102.
Yep, I'm gonna go 109, 102 Pacers.
I got another hot take for you.
Go ahead.
Nobody's going to score over 100 in game three.
That's a crazy take right there. That's a crazy take right
I
there.
don't think nobody's going to score
That's
over 100 in game.
crazy.
I could be
That's
wrong.
crazy.
I could be
That's
wrong.
crazy.
I think it's
Hey,
gonna be a defensive fight for real. I think it's gonna be a defensive fight.
what game was that? I'm trying to think what game was that. I
Mhm.
think it was. I'm gonna have to look it up. It was a Pacers game where. Hold up,
Mhm.
I might be able to find it. Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can still see.
All right, cool.
Mhm.
It was a Pacers game where I want to say it's a Pacers game this year where nobody scored 100.
It's a few
I think.
games
I
like
mean, it was
that.
a playoff game. I'm trying to see was it against the Cavs. I just want to use. I want to see that for reference. That
The only time where I feel like they were scoring 100.
must be an OKC game because Pacers have scored 100 every playoff game so far.
Yeah, especially against the Bucks, they were scoring 100 too.
I think it was a. I want to say it was an OKC game. Let me see. Because I seen something the other day. Yep, it was the OKC game 4 against Denver. Yep, yep,
They didn't
92-87.
exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
it's gonna be a game like that, bro.
Yeah, I seen that game the other day. So when you said that, I was like, no, that has happened.
Yeah,
Like that's
it's
actually happened.
happened. It could be
Yeah,
a
so
defensive. I think this could be a defensive fight for real. So
yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be interesting. I'm definitely gonna be like, I don't think nobody is gonna score 100.
Mm,
It's gonna be cool. You may see like a 98, but I don't think nobody gonna reach that 100.
mm.
Could be a hot take, but I just gotta feel.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
All righty, all right.
So
Smooth.
this is gonna be fun. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna definitely be tuned in
For
Wednesday.
sure. For sure.
So
Yep. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go look like we both going Pacers for this game 3 and
yeah,
hopefully we can get back on for an update around either after that or game 4, right before game 4.
yeah, well, definitely, most definitely, bro. Appreciate you joining me, my brother.
Already know.
All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Go follow
Yes,
my man
sir.
Ceddy P on Instagram, and we out. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace.
Peace.